Hey guys, Feuerrm here, and this is one of the most intense videos I have ever created because it was based on one of the most intense multiplayer seasons ever to come to Asphalt 9. I am testing the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 in its multiplayer season, in which everyone gets a free try fully maxed one with unlimited fuel, so you can play over and over and over again as much as you want. And since Christmas holidays have started for me, I've decided to try to take advantage of this and just see how high I could get in the multiplayer season. And so all day yesterday, I was basically playing this season, trying to get to Master League and trying to get to eventually top 1. And in this video, we are going to see my journey of reaching Master League and then finally getting to top 1 for my third time in a multiplayer season. The previous two were in the Acura multiplayer season and the BMW Z4 multiplayer season, both of which I have videos up about on my channel if you would like to check those out. So in this video, you're going to see some of the most intense and closest races I had on my journey to Masters League, as well as seeing how I finally reached there and how I finally reached top 1. And it's pretty crazy, both of those. So be sure to stick around till the end. In this first race, we're facing a pro team member and 2 members of the Brazil Elite clubs. Now, I don't have to say what cars people are in, because everybody has to use the same car this multiplayer season, and it's really cool to see this occasionally because it is 100% skill-based, unless someone 360s you or something. But this race here was extremely close at the end. We go across the finish line, thankfully neither of us 360ing each other, and we finish the race just a tenth of a second apart from each other. This next one here is another extremely close race, which is on one of my least favorite San Francisco variants. Here, I've learned that in some cases, it is better to drift at the beginning because then you can shockwave, because I've noticed that in a lot of cases when I don't do that, while it may be a bit faster getting to the ramp, I tend to get knocked down because other people do that, and then they have shockwave and I don't, and then I get knocked down, so it's better for me in most cases to have shockwave, because then I don't have to worry about getting knocked down by people that do. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. Also, for some reason, this barrel roll over to the left to me there always sends me in a weird direction, and I wreck half the time, so I usually just go around here, and it looks like someone wrecked probably by going up the ramp and doing that. So here we've just got this pro team member right behind us throughout the rest of the race, and the thing is, because everybody has the same car, you don't have to worry about people passing you because of being faster. You just have to drive your very best for the entire race, and that is pretty much how you win races in this case. He almost passes me at the very last second, but thankfully we do manage to take the victory, but still barely. This next one here is an amazing duel between me and another Legions United member, and this is definitely one of the best races I had all season. So I'm sure you guys have been wanting some more information about the Godly Beasts event. Well, currently I have unlocked the Shelby GR1, I have 3-starred the Mazda Furai, and I will probably 4-star it at some point throughout the event. And a lot of people have been thinking that this event is actually worse than the Jeska one because we had to spend like 1,500 tokens near the beginning to get enough of the Syndicate coins in order to unlock the Mazda, which we needed very early on. And I disagree with that. I think that the event overall is better than the Jesko event, and that more people will likely be able to get the Rimac than were able to get the Jesko. And let me explain why I think that is the case. While we did have that paywall early on, after this, we've been getting so many Syndicate coins that I have had an overabundance even without playing any of the pinned missions. And since a lot of the later days have been leaked, it definitely seems like we won't have to spend as many tokens in order to get the Rimac as we did to get the Jesko, which was like 20,000 or something like that. Now, the flip side to this, and one of the downsides, is that we will have to do a lot of grinding of these same races in order to get probably enough Syndicate coins to upgrade cars at later stages. Like, the upgrades for the Rimac, for example, cost around 1 million Syndicate coins from what I have heard. But the thing is, they're giving so many more actually in the event, if people are actually able to spend the time and grind for them. Now, you can't actually get Syndicate coins for tokens except for the relay packs. They cost real money now. And this is another reason that makes me think they'll probably give more in the event, because I don't think they would force you to spend money to be able to unlock the car. Even that does not seem quite like Gameloft. So my takeaway from this is that while it may not be as good for the people that have these huge repositories of tokens saved up because they can't just spend a bunch and then get everything without grinding, it is good for the majority of players who have maybe several thousand tokens saved up that they can use for the relay packs, for example, and then maybe have time to grind some of the Syndicate coins that are in the event, because a lot of people are probably on holiday at this point. We'll have to see what happens as the event progresses, and you do have to get all the way to the end in order to unlock the Rimac. But just based on what I've seen so far, that seems to be the case. Feel free to tell me what you think in the comments. Here, we barely passed that guy at the very last second, but we do take the victory there, and after several more races, I finally got up to 1495 rating, which was what I was at before the beginning of this race. It was a 3-player race, so I knew if I came in first, I would go up maybe 10 rating or so, and definitely reach Master League. If I came in second, I would probably stay equal, or maybe go up or down 1 or 2, but if I came in last, I would probably go down like 13 or something like that. And the 3rd place player regged, so I was pretty sure I was at least going to come in second. So now my goal was to catch up to and pass this other guy who is also in Legions United, RPM Sunder Singh. Now, I had faced him multiple times earlier in the season, and he was a very good driver, so I knew that this was not going to be easy. I caught up to him a little bit around those corners, but then he used Shockwave and got a bit further away again. I was just going to try my very best. If I came in second, I knew my rating wouldn't really change much, and I'd just go on to the next race and hopefully get there then. One thing to note about this car is that it doesn't have quite as good handling as the Corvette GS, so I did go a bit wide around this corner. Did not quite manage to catch up to him, but he went along the side and allowed me to pass him so that I could come in first and reach Master League. Thank you so much, RPM Sunder Singh, for your help. It was greatly appreciated. The number 1 person on the leaderboard at this time was RacerBest from Pro Team. He had 1519 rating, and I was currently in 4th position. So I decided to keep on going. I only had 15 rating left to go, and I would just see, well, I got the Master League, maybe I can actually reach top 1. But as it was a bit of a roller coaster to get to Master League, it's also a bit of a roller coaster after that as well. Apparently going to the left there is actually a little bit faster in some cases. In this case, it was actually approximately equal, but whatever the case may be, he got out a bit ahead of us. Now, I wasn't worried at this point because I knew I probably could pass him. Here, I went like right next to him at this point and did in fact manage to pass him. Unfortunately, I did not actually have enough nitro before the ramp to get a Shockwave, and then I landed on him when he had Shockwave, which boosted me high up into the air, and I got way behind. And this is something that happened a lot on my way up to Master League, is I would get to like 1450, then I'd go down to 1420, then I'd get up to 1460, then go down to 1440, and I would just keep getting these streaks of good races, and then streaks of bad races. And it just took so much longer than it would have if that hadn't been the case. Oh, and one time my game just randomly crashed in the middle of a race and I lost like 10 rating because of that, and I was at 1460. Oh, it wasn't good. But there, I went down 8, got to 1496, but then after a bunch of, well, rather boring races compared to some of the other ones in this video, I got up to 1515 rating, which at the time was 2nd place on the leaderboard. RacerBest was still at 1519. So this race would basically make or break my first attempt at breaking the top 1, because if I came in first, I knew I would go up 4 or 5 and possibly make it, possibly be 1 rating below him still and then have to play another race, but at least I'd be really close. If I lost to this one, and I was getting a bit scared after he passed me right there, I would go down probably another 8 or something like that and be a dozen rating behind, and who knows what would happen at that point. But I knew I needed to keep my cool and I could still win this, so that's what I decided to do. Time for a quick general review of this car. It is a very fun car to drive, not quite as fun as the GS. It goes 230 miles per hour at max, so it probably sits very close to the top of Class A. It has good stats all around and is a joy to drive in this season. So I was catching up very close to him at the end here, went in my perfect nitro, and at the very last second went all the way to the right and passed him right before the finish line to come in first and go up 4 rating to 1519, which put me to number 1. It turned out that my unseen decimal point after 1519 was actually higher than racer best, and so that's how I got into first ahead of him, even though he looks like he has the same rating. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt, Forza, Minecraft, and Need for Speed Heat content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!